on and just like give it a small tap.
I'd like to welcome everyone and call this meeting to order. We'll start out with an invocation by Jared Churchill and then a pledge of allegiance by his wife, Liz Churchill. These are both friends of mine, been friends a long time, live over in our area, and just a great family in Orem that does everything they can to make Orem the best place to be that it can be. So we appreciate you guys coming tonight. We'll start out with Jared with the invocation.
We live in and for the freedoms that we enjoy here. We're grateful that we can take part in our government. We're grateful for those who serve, and we ask thee to bless them for their efforts. Father, we ask thee above all to help us to have unity, to help us to have empathy, to help us to be able to see other people's points of view and to understand them, even if we don't agree with them. We ask thee to be with us and help us to have calm hearts and understanding minds. And we ask thee to bless our city and bless those who serve. And we pray for this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now go to item 6.1, and Chief Sanderson will tell us about the recent event that we had with the fire department.
Mayor, Councilman, Manager Bybee, thanks for this opportunity to recap our annual award ceremony or formal event where it gives us the opportunity to recognize the accomplishments over the year and also recognize the employees for their outstanding efforts that go above and beyond their normal call of duty with special consideration given to our yearly medals, which I'll touch base on. What I want to do is just play this quick video. It will introduce you to the event. This is an event that actually we're able to do and provide the opportunity to all of our even on-duty staff because it's supported through the efforts of Saratoga, Springs, Lehigh, American Fork, Lone Peak, Pleasant Grove, and Provo Fire Department to send their personnel and their apparatus to staff our 4 stations that provide the 2 to 3 hours of opportunity for our on-duty members to join this award ceremony and event with their significant other or plus ones. And so this is the second year that we've done it. The first year we did it in Library Hall and we had a great attendance, but we filled the hall up. And so this year with the partnership, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the facility, but with the city's relationship, we were able to do this event at a significant cost savings with renting a facility that actually was able to support close to 300 people. So I'll just play this video really quick and then.
Say, Mark, just for credit, it was Canyon Park
Oh, thank you, Mayor.
that donated that to us.
It's amazing. And then when you see how it's set up, it is very nice. Oh, no music. Pause. Gotta have the music. Thanks, Pete. You can see there was a theme to this year's event. It was white and bright. The benefit of this event is it really provides a social outing where we get to recognize our people. And it's amazing to see the significant others or our plus ones. I mean, spend time all year looking for the right dress because it's a formal event. They schedule their hair appointments. It's like, well, we joke that it's prom night for fire department. And so it really is well supported. And then I'll just, you may have all received a copy of this. I'll just take it and pass it around. Maybe short one, which I'll provide. This annual 2023 report is actually online for the members of the communities to see all of our accomplishments. But specifically, I just want to touch base on the awards really quickly. And that's really the whole purpose of this event. It was really an honor this year to be able to give out the Orem Fire Department's Medal of Honor. It went to a recipient of the Utah Highway Patrol for his actions involving a driver driving the wrong way on I-15, and he actually put himself in harm's way, placing himself in between that vehicle approaching in the wrong direction, and had a head-on crash where he was actually injured, fractured leg, trapped in his vehicle. Vehicle was on fire. Gave us the opportunity to interact with another agency, and bringing him and the Highway Patrol's leadership into our event just expanded it outside of just our own local jurisdiction. Also, another member of a couple of members outside of our fire department recognition, Chris Shields. She works for HCA, Timpanogos Hospital. She's instrumental in a lot of the trainings that we do. She actually provides a monthly training hosted by Orem Fire in conjunction with Timpanogos Hospital that goes out statewide. So just that relationship alone puts us on the map in trying to increase the level of EMS that we deliver on a statewide level. And that comes through our fire department. We have Parker Swain, who's a member of the Public Works Department, who was given our Fire Service Cross Award this year. He's instrumental in his efforts to keep our fire apparatus and ambulances in service. I mean, I love him because he was the only guy at the party that was shorter than me. And so when I take the picture, I really appreciated that. But he drops everything when our guys pull in to get us back in service. And that was one of the benefits he was recognized for. And as you look through the book, I'm just going to read the names so publicly everybody's recognized. But this Meritorious Company Award for their interactions, you actually met and they presented today from Fire Prevention, Division Chief Derek Spencer, Deputy Fire Marshal Brandon Valley, Senior Fire Inspector Brandon Byers, and Fire Inspector Scott Beardall. They were actually recognized for exactly what you saw today, implementing these new programs and bringing future programs to Orem that's going to make a difference for the communities we serve. There was also a cadre of our training company, Captain Cameron Monahan, Captain Josh Lee, Captain Blake Jolly, Engineer Bryant Boehner, CCP Mike Hickman, and Tiller Operator Ethan Starr were recognized for their continual efforts in raising the bar in the level of service we provide. Each one of these guys have traveled on their own dime, also supported by the department outside of the state to bring specialized training back that we've implemented into our operations, that we're really the only department in the state that are doing some of these things, pulled from the East Coast, pulled from the West Coast. And so it's just amazing the things they're doing. We had, I think a group of our most important awards is our Fire Service Cross, which identifies our Chief Officer of the Year. And for his efforts, that was Division Chief Seth Swenson. Our Fire Officer of the Year, Captain Blake Jolly. And then the Firefighter of the Year, which is probably the award everybody wants to be awarded in the event that you're selected by your peers. That this year went to Engineer Brian Boehner. He's well supported by our organization. He's one of our training cadres that everybody recognizes the efforts he's playing in increasing the level of services we provide. Ryan Garside, he's a 20-year paramedic that delivers exceptional patient care regardless of the time of night, regardless of the stress. And then again, we were able to award a Medal of Courage to Tim Hope, who honestly saved the life of one of our firefighters in a structure fire in Vineyard by remaining calm and collective and inside a structure fire where had he not, man, we would have had a significant, terrible outcome with potentially both of those guys inside a structure fire. He just kept it together. And because of his experience and training and collective thought process, they were able to bail out of a second-story window. And I mean, in Hope, Tim actually received some second-degree burns, his neck, his face, his shoulder, his arm, but ultimately they healed. He'll be scarred. And it was an honor to be able to recognize him with that Medal of Courage. I mean, you go through this book, it shows our statistics, it shows just accomplishments and the amazing things that we get to project to not only the mayor and council, but within our own team, and then create an awesome annual report that we share with the communities we serve. And so with that, that's my update. It's just a pleasure. It's appreciated that it's supported by so many of our own staff as well as the communities that allow us to have this event. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief. We appreciate that. We appreciate all that you and your organization do for us.
Great.
Next up, we've got item 6.2, and this is a presentation from Pete Wolfley, our Communication Director.
All right. Well, hopefully this doesn't come as a surprise to anyone, but tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So love is in the air here at the city of Orem. And each year about this time, we go out and ask employees what they love about working at the city and what they love about Orem. And so we put a little video together. It's just about 3 minutes. I want to share it with you now.
I obviously love working here. I've been here since 2006 at the library, and I love it. I can't imagine working anywhere else.
I love working for Orem because of the interaction that I have with the community and their receptiveness to us. And I also love the fact that my colleagues push me to be better every day.
Orem is a place that's full of some of the most earnest, honest, intelligent, friendly and hardworking people I've ever met, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
I love that my kids also go to school in Orem, and like I have this like little like network and community that I'm a part of in my personal and professional life, and it's been really rewarding, and like I can't imagine like going anywhere else anytime soon, moving, working. I want to stay in Orem.
I like working at Orem because it's full of very insightful, collaborative people. I think another reason I like working at Orem is its proximity to the outdoors and the beautiful views of the mountains that you have. Orem is arguably the gateway to Provo Canyon, and so I think that sets Orem apart as well. That's a gateway to adventure. It's a gateway to the outdoors.
I like working in Orem with working with the guys that I work with. That's probably the part of working in Orem that I really enjoy.
Well, I moved here in 1994, and I met my wife here. We had all five of our children here at Orem Community Hospital. I started working here in '94, and I've been here ever since. And it's a great place to live and raise a family and to work. It's been good to me and to our family, so we love it here.
I love Orem. I've lived here for a couple years now. It's a great family-friendly environment that I hope to raise my family in. Working here is great. It's just a great environment that I really feel seen, I really feel heard, and I just love being here.
I love helping the patrons, finding books, And especially, we have a lot of new direction that's happening now. That's very, very exciting. But I think more than anything else, it's those interactions with the patrons where we're able to help them find what they need, help them realize that we have what they need.
I've been at Orem now for 4 years, and the minute I started at Orem, especially at the police department, I felt like it was a family, and that's why I came here. I moved from Michigan, and so I had tried other departments and other agencies, and no one felt like a family quite like Orem did.
So yeah, just with Valentine's Day, we love working here. We love the city. Appreciate all the support that you give us. And we actually have a little Valentine's Day gift for each of you to let you know our appreciation and support and everything that you do for us. And so yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Pete. We appreciate that. And we appreciate the treat. Get a head start on Valentine's Day. Yeah. Thank you. All right, next up, we've got item number 7. We've got personal appearances. It looks like there's just 3 people that have signed up for this. I'll just read really quickly what we've got said here. Time has been set aside for the public to express their ideas, concerns, and comments on items not scheduled as public hearings on the agenda. Those wishing to speak are encouraged to show respect for those who serve the city. Comments should focus on issues concerning the city. Those wishing to speak should have signed in before the beginning of the meeting. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. And like I said, there are 3 tonight. The first one is Angel Willie. Just over here to the podium, right?
Hello. It's actually Angel and Willie, and I'm more like a translator. And the glasses are not fashion, I'm blind. So Willie owns a taco truck. He parks over at 1600 and State by the AT&T. And he's been having a lot of concerns because there's been about son como 7 personas, huh? About 7 people that have approached him, claiming they're detectives and people from the city or neighborhood watch, and they keep. I mean, to this point, it's more like a harassment where they keep telling different things. The first 2 people that came that were detectives check his license and the typical paperwork, and they said everything's fine. Supposedly, Alpha complained that he was operating illegally. And then some of the other concerns is that he parks there since 7 o'clock in the morning all the way to about midnight, which he doesn't. They park there typically about from 12 to 9. And one of the other issues is that they're supposed to, I guess there's a city ordinance of 5 hours, but they're on private property that belongs to AT&T, which they have their permission. And they also made him take his tent down. And one of the bigger issues is that, I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lot of trucks now, and they all pretty much have the same setup that he does. And yet he's talked to others, including his mother-in-law that owns one of them, and nobody's getting these issues. Nobody's getting these visits. And he's wondering if there's an issue or maybe a concern from somebody that maybe they're not knowing what's going on, because they all claim to be from the city. And that's why we're here now, to see if there's an actual problem, because now he's just feeling harassed. I don't know if this is. Yes, so it's been about 5 times that the same people come over and over and over. I don't know if you guys could give us some answers to that.
So this is more of a comment section as far as a back and forth with the city council. But what I'd recommend is maybe that you talk to the police, and they're here. They're here so that they can address issues like this. But if you want to go back and talk with the police and try and figure out what the issues are and try and come to an understanding on, what needs to be done or what's being done or all the rest, that'd be the way to handle it.
That's one of the first things that we did, and police said, if you guys are licensed and everything, and if it's private property, shouldn't be an issue. But these guys keep coming.
Right. And like I say, there's not really much we can do in this forum, but I would talk with the police that are here, and they can help you work through that.
Okay.
Que me dieron la información de los que, ¿cómo se llama? Del neighborhood watch y eso hablé, pero nunca contestan.
Yeah, they also gave me information about the neighborhood watch people that came over, but they don't even pick up. Oh, and pretty much all the guys that have come over, we asked for business cards and their names, like different things, and they just said, I don't have it, and they leave.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound right. So go ahead and talk with the police. I'd go ahead and just file a full report of all the things that you're bringing up.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor and council, I've made note as well, and I make note of these, and we can help follow up as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay. I can't really read the next name. Val Lindsay. And it says housing is the topic. So if you were the second person to sign up, come on up.
No, I was just signing up to come in, that's all I.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, that was an easy one. Thank you. Next up, we've got Mark Porter.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure if 9.3 was going to be open for public forum or not.
It's not.
Oh, okay. Because that's kind of what I want to talk about. Yeah, my name's Mark Porter. I live at 1588 South 150 West. And I've kind of been following along with the map amendment discussions that have happened previously. I'm just one resident. I'm not very important, not very eloquent. But I am unequivocally in favor of individual property rights and personal rights. I definitely don't like high density housing. I don't like traffic, but that's kind of the price I pay for living in a city. And above that, I don't like telling others what to do with their stuff, as I expect others not to tell me what to do with mine, if at all possible. That's why I find it so concerning that so much effort and time has been spent into what I view as trying to tell someone what to do with their own property. And the fact that I even have an opportunity to share my opinion about someone else's property that I haven't invested in, I haven't spent time or money to buy or maintain, is kind of concerning to me, because I believe that individuals should have the right to individually conduct their lives and properties as they see fit. And so I feel that that if as a municipality we truly believe in individuals and individual rights and freedoms, truly the only reasonable solution for this is to amend the city plan to allow individuals to conduct their properties as they see fit and to cancel the plans for the connections. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. All right, we'll move on to our consent items. We've got a lot of them tonight. I'm going to read through this and then we'll vote on these as a block. As far as consent items on the agenda, we've got item 8.1, which is an approval of the meeting minutes from January 23rd, 2024. Item 8.2, yes. Yes, that would be great. Okay, so we've got quite a few appointments, and if you're here, if you could stand up, that would be great. So first, we've got appointments to the Orem Fest Advisory Commission, and that's Bill Blyle, Debbie LaRae, Sarah Olsley, and Paula Pavili. Next, we've got appointment to the Cultural Arts Council. That's Leah Collins. Next, we've got item 8.4, an appointment to the CDBG Advisory Commission. That's Steve Heaps. Next, we've got item 8.5, several appointments to the Orem Neighborhood Advisory Commission. On that commission, we're potentially adding Rob Shaw, Tammy Moore, Jenny Scribner, Kim Anderson, Amy Green, Rochelle Holmberg, Debbie Lamb, Carolyn Blossel, and Truman Van Cott. Would someone like to make a motion on the consent items?
Mayor, I move that we accept the consent items as outlined.
Second that, Mayor. Okay.
Jen?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
The consent items passed, and those items are all approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our first scheduled item tonight is item 9.1, a conditional use permit. This is approval to add a family recreation exercise building located at 1014 North, 1280 East in the PD 18 zone. Jason, would you lead that discussion?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Members of the council, if I can get my... This works about half the time, so sorry about that. So the first item before us is a conditional use permit in the PD 18 zone, which is a planned development zone. The old Cascade Golf Course was purchased by the owner several years ago. It was rezoned to a PD 18. That is a residential zone. It is a zone that requires, it does allow accessory structures, but it doesn't require anything over 1,000 square feet or taller than 24 feet to come to the city council through a conditional use process. So the applicants are here tonight proposing a larger accessory structure, 15,000 square feet. It is under 35 feet. It's 33 and a half, I think, feet tall. It's a very large property, and so they're here to do that. It's a private structure that will house different amenities, basketball, and some different activities like that. So they're here tonight to request a conditional use permit. This is the elevations that you see. It's from UHPC, which is an ultra high performance concrete panel. So it's some kind of just what it says there, a concrete looking panel system, along with some other travertine finishes and a flat roof. See the elevations there. So 33 feet, 6 inches. This is their entrance into the property. So it's going to be set back quite a ways from that. It's about 17 feet from the park, the Palisade Park, which is south of this property. So there is no residential south. There's some residentials east and west, but the property is fairly substantial and really wouldn't impact them as well. So Planning Commission did make a recommendation that the council approve this conditional use. I'd be glad to address any questions.
Do we have any questions?
Ready for a motion if there are no comments?
If there's no questions or comments,
I move that this city council approve a family recreational exercise building located at 1014 North, 1280 East in the PD 18 zone.
I second that.
Aye.
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 The motion passes. Thank you, Jason. We'll move on to item 9.2. And if you'd like to outline this and then we'll open it up for public hearing.
Sure. So this one is a request for a sign zone. The city not only has zones that you typically understand that have building code requirements, but we also have a sign zone that's also organized and implemented over time. And this property that we see here that's a Maverik is going to be proposed, which is along Geneva Road, just south of University Parkway. It's an old barn that's been torn down and going to be developed as a Maverik. Right now, there is no sign zone on that property. It was agriculture for many years. And so that now it's being developed. And what they're proposing is to change that sign zone. You can see that the property to the north is in the sign zone C. Let me get my pointer out. So this property, which is the Chevron gas station, currently has sign zone C. So they have a pole sign along the parkway or Geneva Road. What this applicant is requesting is they have that same sign zone, same opportunity to have a pole sign. And so the staff has supported that. It went to Planning Commission. They made a recommendation that the council approved that as well. So simply matching what other businesses have in the area. It does allow signs up to 200 square feet, but it is based on the distance from the right of way. So as you can see, if it's 10 feet from the right of way, they can have 36 square feet. Up to a 40-foot setback, they can have 200 square feet. So it does stipulate how tall it can be, but also how far from the right of way. That is currently in sign zone C. Some replicas. We've all seen Maverik signs before. We have a few in the city. So they basically are going to do similar to what is done in other Maverik stores. This is the site plan that was approved by the Planning Commission many months ago. This is simply dealing with the sign. Like I say, the Planning Commission did make a recommendation. I'd be glad to address any questions.
Would you go back to, and where are they putting the sign on their site plan?
We have not got an application at this point, so it'll depend on if they meet the setbacks of the 40 feet and where they want to place that,
And
or if they decide to go smaller.
Okay, so, and then maybe go to your first one where those condos are. Are we worried? Is there any chance there would be some lighting issues with those homes that are there? Are the setbacks sufficient to protect them from?
So my guess is they're wanting that either along the Parkway or along Geneva Road. So there will be no signs in this area. We could modify that sign zone and not put it there if that's.
I would like to maybe add that in there if we could.
We could do that.
To kind of protect those residents.
Sure.
Mayor, if I may?
Yes, Tom.
I know we can see that that's 3 point some odd acres. I think you showed that on a later slide. How big is the Chevron across the street? It looks smaller, but I don't know how much smaller. Do you know that, Jason?
I don't off the top of my head. I would imagine it's probably
closer to 2. It's probably an acre
and
bigger,
a half,
one
maybe,
would think,
yeah.
right? 2.5 to 3.5. So they're going to do, they're developing that whole partial as a gas station convenience store, correct?
Yep. So if we go to the site plan, you can see there's quite a few fueling stations.
What are those things in the back?
So these are fueling stations. So when you drive in, your car is going to be right
Okay,
here.
Gotcha.
The tanks, fueling tanks there, but this will all be
A lot of,
and
there's
this
a
will be
lot of stations, a
this
lot
will-
of fueling stations.
Sorry, yes, but this will be grass, and I don't know if that's part of the detention. So right next to the residential will be landscaping.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So to Ms. Millett's point, I guess we could maybe do the frontage 100 feet or something like that on both.
University in Geneva.
Yeah.
The nice thing I saw, like next to the residential area, so they have that green space, it's grass and it's for more picnicking and not signage or other things. So
Yeah.
they've built that
Yeah,
in.
and common sense, I don't think they would put it there, but if it's available, you never know, right? So we could definitely do the frontage, so it makes that, so whatever number you want to come up, we could redo the map to make that work.
I don't know. What do you recommend?
Well, it's going to be probably within 40 feet because that's the maximum setback and the maximum square footage they can have. So I would imagine if you do 50 feet along both those frontages, that would, now that still would allow them to do the canopies. We'd probably want to have the ability for them to have canopy signs, the little small logos that they have or on the actual canopy in the building itself. This would simply allow them to do the pole signs.
And do you think you need a little more of a setback on 1260 for the condos that are over there to the east? Or would they ever, if they put the sign in that corner right there?
Right here.
Yeah, or even closer to University Parkway, but anywhere along that, you've got those condos right next door. Is that the parking lot of the condos that you're showing?
So this is the parking lot. Yeah, if I go back to the aerial, well, yeah, the parking lot's here. So this is the thing
So
we're looking at.
just a
So
little more of a setback there on University.
yeah, so you're looking at least 200 plus feet probably to a condo window
Okay.
at that point.
Okay, because your road.
Yeah,
So you feel that's a good enough buffer?
yeah.
So, and that is the main issue, right? To just protect those neighborhoods.
Right.
While allowing a similar sign to their competitors, right?
Yep. Yep.
So as long as we can accomplish that.
We've just had some sign issues, right, with some other, not this type of sign, but others. We just want to make sure that the lighting is not an issue for residents.
Yeah, we have, not to get off this topic, but we have had some discussion with some of the sign owners, and they have dimmed some of their lights because they didn't know how to control the brightness. And so in talking to them, the one on the I-15, if you're 1600 or 2000 north, they've dimmed it about 50%. If you drive by it now, it's not as obnoxious as it was. So there is an ordinance in place. Sometimes we have to have conversations with property owners to say, that's a little too bright. And so, yeah.
Any other questions? Would someone like to make a motion? I'm sorry. We won't do a motion. We'll open this up for a public hearing in case there's anyone that wants to add anything.
Actually, Mayor, it might be helpful to see if the applicant is here. They might be able to answer some of the questions that were raised about placement of the sign.
Okay.
And if modifying the application, the area of the new sign zone would work for them if they're here.
Is the applicant here? They must be good with whatever we do. Okay, so if the applicant's not here, we'll open this up for the public hearing. Are there any comments on this sign issue? Okay, we'll close the public hearing. Bring this back to the council. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we amend the sign zone for Maverik located at 1249 South Geneva Road in the C2 zone to a sign zone C within
100 feet?
100.
I would say 50 would probably be sufficient. 50.
Okay, within 50 feet.
Of the corner base.
Well, from right away
the-
into the property on both frontages of Geneva Road and University Park.
So you're talking about keeping that or making the new sign zone applicable along the entire length of both frontages to a depth of 50 feet into the property, is that right?
So this is not the scale, but if we were to take, you can't really see that, but basically this area here,
Is the sign zone.
that would be 50 feet back, that would be the sign zone.
So they can do it. Doesn't matter if it's more.
Is that what you meant?
Yep.
I'll second Mr. Lampson's motion.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, now we'll move on. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
We'll move on to item 9.3, a map amendment. And this is amending the Lakeview area street connection master plan to eliminate the street connections between 1430 South and 400 West. And as many of you know who are here, this is a continuation basically of a conversation we started last city council meeting. And we had a major discussion. And before that, we had a number of meetings with residents. After that, we've had meetings with residents. And a number of the city council members have gone out and met in the neighborhoods, drove the area, gathered as much information as they could. So I think we're much more informed than we were a month ago. But Jason, if you'd like to take this.
You bet. Thanks, Mayor. So just to reiterate, the application before you tonight is to eliminate the street connection between 1430 and 400 West. And if I can just put on the, so in this general area here, the city street connection master plan requires that there be a public access here and a public access into this dead end street here. So somewhere in between there, based on the current standards, that street needs to be connected with a public street. The applicant, as was discussed last meeting, wants to eliminate those connections. Currently, the zone R12 and R8, and this represents the two connections on the street connection master plan. And that's basically just a reminder of why we're here. And that's, I'd be glad to address any questions. The applicant's here to address questions as well.
Do we have any questions by the council? Is there anything that the applicant would like to add from the last time you were here?
Well, there's a lot that could be said, but the postcard mailer, as you all know, that went out last time said it wasn't a public hearing. So the people who are here now to speak in favor of it didn't know to come. And, but my sincere goal from this is to protect the neighborhoods, keep Family City USA safe. Our neighborhoods have the recipe for that, where we don't have busy streets. We don't have the risk of parking and traffic problems and children being endangered. And that's been my goal ever since I moved in the area, to preserve that in whatever form it would be. And this is one step to help with that. It gives us the opportunity to protect our neighborhoods. So, I mean, I could go on, but I know we have a whole presentation prepared, but I don't know what you're wanting to hear or willing to hear. So,
yeah, it's really up to you as far as if there's information you'd like to present, we're happy to hear it, and or if you're done, that's fine too.
You know, I just want to add to thank the city council members that were able to go out and visit the site and to actually see in person as a result of our last meeting, and knowing how it was to come in and to basically undecisive on whether to make an action to remove or to keep the two red circle connection points to connect 1430 south to 400 west. And it sounds to me like that the council members were able to go and do that and get their opinion there as well. So we're grateful for that opportunity that you've had to go in and see what was presented, and we're anxious to also, knowing that this is a multiple step process, that the outcome of tonight's meeting moving forward. So we're excited to see that. So, and we're here if through your discussion, if you have any other questions or concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do any members of the council have any questions or comments? Or
The only comment I would make, Mayor, is the amount of emails and information we received that was polite, kind, and thoughtful has been overwhelming on this. I've been grateful for the spirit in which the neighbors have addressed their concerns. Even when they're on opposite sides of the view, it's been very civil and kind as they've approached us. And I'm guessing many of you who are here for that issue, thank you for the approach you've taken. It's been well received by me and I think by my colleagues.
I'd like to make a motion. The city.
Are there any other comments?
I'd like to say one thing, just along that note. I've responded to some of you, and in my responses, I'm really appreciative when neighborhoods can disagree on something and yet still remain friends and still appreciate different perspectives and ideas. And I just feel that the people who I've just felt the love of this area from all of you there, and the passion connected with that. And I really hope that we do have something beautiful here in the near future, because I did go walk through the forest, and boy, it'd be sure nice to have that area, something really nice in that area. So thank you for you guys for being good neighbors and for your sincerity and passion for your area.
And I just want to say, this is a complicated issue. And as the gentleman that spoke at the podium mentioned, property rights. And property rights go a lot of different directions, so that's always a complicated issue. I think we've gotten different responses depending on the time frame, whether it's a few years ago or whether it's currently. And there's been a lot of, there's very different opinions from, like everyone said, the amount of emails that we've gotten, people reaching out to us. There's just a lot of different opinions on what should be done. And I just want to let you know that I'll make my vote based on doing what I believe is best for the overall city and based on all the information that I've been able to take in. So.
Thanks, Mayor. I mean, I went to all the neighborhood meetings at Jay's house, and I appreciate all the citizens that have come out and voiced their opinion. And I'd like to make a motion now, Mayor. That the City Council deny amending Lakeview Area Street Connection Master Plan to eliminate the street connection between 1430 and 400 West. So I'm denying this amendment.
You're basically leaving the master plan as is with no changes?
Correct. Not taking them off.
Yeah, just that his motion would be leaving everything as is according to the master plan.
Because this was to change, eliminate the connections, and I don't want to eliminate them.
I second Mr. Spencer's denial motion. I don't know if I worded that right, Steve.
Aye.
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 The motion is denied. Okay, moving on. Item number 11, Bren Bybee.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick announcements for you. We recently found out from the Milken Institute that does a ranking of all the cities in the country, and they have rankings for those metropolitan service areas, MSAs, that are have a population of over 90,000. In that category, there are 200 cities across the country that fit that category. And for the fourth year in a row, the city of Orem is top 5 in that ranking. And a couple of the specific areas that were highlighted was that we were ranked number 1 in community resilience, number 2 in job growth, number 3 in GDP and wage growth, and then top 15% in housing affordability. So as we get these awards, we like to announce them and celebrate a little bit and recognize the city for being such a wonderful city. So we'll be doing that, and you'll be seeing that in some of our communications efforts. The other quick announcement I wanted to let you know of. So we did some statistics, and we found that over the last 2 years, Orem has had 880 new businesses come into the city. 808. These are new business license applications over the last 2 years. Many of you attended the grand opening for Bunt Cakes this last weekend, and that was well attended and a fun win. And we actually just found out we'll have a ribbon cutting on the 28th for a company called Just Ingredients, which has 1.1 million followers on Instagram. So,
And that's my Red Line Racing Day where I beat you.
Yeah, can we do some go-kart races after that ribbon cutting?
So our business family is growing strong here in Orem. So that's all I have.
Thank you, Bren. That's awesome. Would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I will make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that. Aye.
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 Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you for attending tonight.